So guys, I had already recorded a whole introduction for this new series and welcome to it, but unfortunately I'd messed up my microphone audio. I don't know what happened, it was picking up in all kinds of weird noises, so this may be a little bit more rushed while I try and fit this in the time I've got left. So as I said, this is a new series. This is going to be what we'd call like a fantasy mod or an alternative reality, and I'm going to give you some background to that in just a moment. I wanted to quickly explain my absence recently. I know there's not many people on here that watch the videos, but I still feel, even if it's just one of you guys watching this, it's appreciated that you get a reason. And all it was that I was really struggling with my focus and my concentration. This affected work, personal life, gaming. I just had 10 minutes was too long on anything, and I couldn't rack my brain around why, and it was getting worse. Turns out I have ADHD, which is an attention type disorder, and as much as it's not the biggest thing, I can now properly deal with that, and what I've been doing to deal with that has helped a ton. So let's get into this. The mod itself and what we're doing. So we are projecting this as an alternative reality. I'll give you a little of background to this now. The FIA and Liberty Media have come together to call an urgent meeting about the levels of domination from teams seen over the recent 10 to 15 years in F1. They want an immediate solution so that come 2023, this can be addressed. What have they done, you ask? Well, they have introduced spec parts for the start of the season, and come pre-season they will then have opened up to the regulations and restrictions that team can upgrade towards. The thought behind this is to bring all teams back to level playing field and see how they get on, give that bit of racing a more opportunity to other cars, drivers and the fans having a bit more of a spectacle to enjoy. With this extreme stance though, however, we have seen a lot of changes within teams and drivers themselves. So guys, I'm really hoping that my microphone has sorted itself out this time. If not, it's probably still going to be uploaded, so bear with. But you can see here straight away, we will be in charge this season with Audi Sport e-tron as a Formula 1 team. You can see our pairing there of Bottas and Sainz. Sainz had always been rumoured to join Audi if they ever became a team, and well, that has happened. But that is very minimal change compared to the rest of the series. First one to start with is our reserve driver, David Beckman, somebody who's had opportunities in the past but has never really made it anywhere, and we are giving him that opportunity to take this forward. Being German as well and an Audi team, that was something seen as a good link there that they wanted to progress with. Obviously our last top German driver was Sebastian Vettel, but unfortunately he had other plans. I think the other big change to point out in teams is Alpine. Now the name is just an error in the mod at the moment and hopefully it's being addressed, but it is the Andretti Cadillac team. They still have Ocon, they still have Gasly, but let's take a look at their reserve driver. The 17-year-old American driver Jack Crawford has been given an opportunity as reserve for Alpine. I just said Alpine. I mean Andretti. Now they are very keen obviously to have an American on the grid, and they weren't happy with some of the other options, so they are looking to bring in their own driver and see if they can make him into a future F1 driver. To show off some of the dramatic changes, I can confirm that Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have retired for the time being. They were not happy with these extreme measures introduced and they decided to call it a time on their careers. So they are no longer in the sport. They could still return, you know, they could be tempted back by teams, but that is how it stands currently. I did say that I'd already recorded this, so I've got very little time, so I'm going to rattle through these. So, new drivers in new places. Daniel Ricciardo will partner Sergio Perez at Red Bull. Our returning legend Sebastian Vettel will partner Charles Leclerc at Ferrari, with the outbound signs they needed to replace him, and that's who they've gone for. Again, picture will hopefully be sorted in the future. McLaren remained unchanged, but Aston Martin made the biggest change of all. Rubens Barrichello, of all people, came out of retirement, citing to give it one last go, and they gave him a year in his contract to see if he could partner Alonso and make a difference in the Aston Martin team. Stroll is no longer with the team, and he will be looking elsewhere for that spot. The photo isn't accurate, Barrichello, I know that. Again, another thing I'm trying to sort, but not got it sorted as of yet. Liam Lawson has made it full term into the Alpha Tauri team for the start of the 2023 season. Obviously, we've seen in real life, he was the next up replacement. With Ricciardo going to Red Bull in this universe, Lawson was next in line for this seat. Mick Schumacher replaces the outgoing Hamilton. Obviously, really the only realistic step for them to take was to promote him, so he is getting that opportunity, his second round in Formula 1. let's see how he's going to get on with that. Logan Sargent gets his debut in F1, remember it's his debut, with the Haas team, American on American style. Now, this was a bit of a controversial move because obviously Hulkenberg was going to be taking that seat, but they've gone for Sargent. I think the threat of Andretti coming in there, there's a big American rivalry now within Formula 1. And last but not least, Williams have surprisingly given Zach O'Sullivan the opportunity that he's been looking for. A very, very surprise one there. Only 18 years old, probably the lowest rated driver that will be on the grid. But with, as I said, the cars being equal now, is this a platform for him to show what he's made of? He will have tough competition, and Williams could look to replace him pretty quick, but he is here to give it a go, giving Williams an all British in theory lineup. Albon obviously runs under a Thai license, born in Britain though, so Williams are really happy with their setup. Apart from those changes, there are many reserve drivers in now that we wouldn't have seen before. I will go over that more as we progress, and you guys might want to point it out when you see it in sessions. But yeah, that is the bulk of the changes. And obviously, this is the grid average you can see on screen. It's not perfect. Not everyone is actually equal. I have done this as best I could. I spent about 2 hours trying to get this right. So there's going to be ups and downs here for different cars, but you can see how close the figures are in general. It was as good as we could get, so I'm hoping it does produce us some close racing. I haven't tested this yet, so it could all collapse before Bahrain, we don't know, but I hope it doesn't. So fingers crossed this recording went well. Hopefully you guys like what you've just seen. If you have, make sure to like the video. Also comment down any predictions you have for those drivers you've seen or those new teams you've seen. I'd love to know what your thoughts of the season can be, and we can maybe have a look at that come the end. Can do some comparison amongst drivers. Thank you again for watching, and thank you so much for your patience while I sorted myself out and got this new series going. Hopefully we can start this going into the new week, and hopefully as well I can get as much content out to you guys as I normally did. Obviously, I've said in the past that it's used my lunch break I use to do these, so hopefully yeah, I manage it fairly well. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one at the Bahrain Grand Prix.